Okay, it's recording now. Sorry, I forget to do that. So when I do my preview, it looks here. I'm telling it to do 4. What else is different on your settings? Since you got yours to work, what is different on yours?
Oh, mine says instant spacing, not equal spacing.
Okay, so let's do instant spacing. And we're still going to use that same center point.
Oh, what it doesn't mean. It's still 90.
Still 90?
It's 90 there.
You just 90 and it worked on 90?
Yeah, because because I think the instant spacing measures each one 90, where the equal spacing does 360 divided by 4.
Correct.
And
then you got 4.
Feature.
You doing features and
I
faces?
have like feature scope, maybe.
Feature scope.
Oh, that might be because I have it. It worked for me. That's an extra.
Do you do bodies?
Instances to skip. I have a extra bar in between instances to skip and off.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's why.
And then in options, I have geometry pattern check.
Okay. Wow.
And then feature. And then it has 4 extrude cut, 4 extrude cut selected in the feature scope.
Feature scope.
And the taskbar is just the new one.
This one here? Oh.
Yeah, for the short there. Maybe.
Okay. So what? Okay. So here's what he's basically done. Let me kind of give you a breakdown of what's going on here. This won't work for mine, mainly because I don't have other geometries that he has. When you get to a point, and let me go back to where I'm at here, just to kill that out. I have each of these 4 parts. These are all individual pieces now. Because we cut them when we did our extrude cuts to make our channels, we've made them into 4 different elements. They're technically bodies, but they're mathematically one thing. And so in the program, there's a mathematical that says you've already selected the same thing you're starting with. And that's where the routine's falling apart. You can, like in his case, he went through and you tried like probably 4 different things, right?
No, I don't know. I did exactly what you told me to do in class, and it worked.
That worked?
Yes.
Okay, did it work with anybody else? Nope. Okay, let's see if I can. I just deleted my whole thing. How's that? If this happens to you, what I did is I deleted the extrusion, the circular pattern, and because of the way mine's set up, it deleted everything involved in that. So how do you get something back? Control Z, right? Oh, that undo does 1 step. You got to slide the bar down. So this time bar here, we haven't done a lot with it, but we're going to do a lot more with it. This is it literally is a time bar. You can use this bar to move back and forth in time, meaning the time of your assembly construction. So I can take it all the way back to the very first element. And if you're evaluating someone else's work, you can use this to go through and see each step that was done and analyze it to see where errors might occur. So I get to this point, everything's good. It's the circular pattern that's not. I'm going to go ahead and pull that forward again, and I'm going to delete. Now, when I'm deleting this out, there's a couple errors that come up that you need to be careful with, especially, is that a question?
I wasn't present the last time, so when you have one, I would appreciate it.
Did you watch the video? And the announcements. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you don't have we did a lot, like 3 hours worth of stuff. So yeah. Okay. I'll be with you in just a second here. When I pull that forward and I do a delete, you want to watch this box right here. Okay. Now, if you're deleting a feature, depending on how your settings are, it could be set to delete all the nested sketches with it. And you can just hit no, and then this stuff that's in here won't be deleted. And I chose to just delete it on the last one so I can show you. But this is, you've got to kind of watch, make sure nothing's in here. Because now if I just hit yes, the circular pattern's gone and back where I'm at. Okay. How far, let's see, is that, do you have the 4 cubes? How much do you have?
I have everything set up till last class.
I don't remember what it was last class. Do you have the circle, the holes in it?
Yep, and the holes are angled for the through it.
So you just don't have the initials? Okay. We're gonna go into the initials here, look at. So we did a cut extrude on our initials. What I did is had them find just some graffiti art letters and trace them off. And do you guys remember how we did the tracing? Okay, what's the process?
So you find the image and you download it as a PNG or something that you
Okay.
can read, and then you convert that into a sketch,
Correct.
and then you size it however you need it, and get it wherever you need it, and then you create a new sketch, which you sketch over it, then you make it invisible and take your new sketch and put it wherever you need it.
Absolutely. Okay, now let's do that in basic steps. I'm gonna roll back time here a little bit. So are you ready? And it took us a while. What we did do is you find a sketch of the alphabet you want. In my case, it looks like this. Just some good old graffiti art. Now, this is just a JPEG or a bitmap or a PNG, as you said. So very good. Make sure it is not a JFIF, or that will not work. But and then what we did is this is in its own sketch. So to place an image, you have to start a sketch, then go to Tools, Sketch Tools, Sketch Picture to insert your image file. Now, you're going to want to know that because we're moving into the laser stuff here this week. We're going to finish the snowman today as well. Yay, happy snowman. Maybe because there's a few other things you want to know about. And then you put your image in there. Now, when you size your image, if we have the image selected, our size is here. And you change the X and Y value of it to get it where it fits on your object. And so it's in that place. When you get the size right, you then exit that sketch. And mine's hidden, so if I unhide it, you can still see it. And we move and create a new sketch. I'm going to hide this again so you can see what we're doing. On this new sketch, if I open that up, whoa, that's empty. Why is that empty? Oh, I know why. I keep making extra sketches. I shouldn't do that. Let's pull this down. In your new sketch, you have this traced off. Now, I'm going to undo a few things here. And I should take this all out because I've been playing around. So when we sketch it, you want the image and the tracings to be separate so you can check them and verify them. That's what we did. And it took us quite a bit of time last time, okay? If you want, we can also do just plain letters. And while I'm in this sketch, I'm going to show you guys how to do letters, okay? The letter is done with this big capital letter A. So if you don't want the real funky stuff, you can just click on that. And literally you just type in your initials. It will go kind of wherever you're on the screen. That's great. But if you want to control it, we got to do a little thing first. I'm going to cancel that out. If you want to control how letters work, and because you're going to be moving onto your birdhouse, maybe you want to put some welcome home birdie on it. You know, I don't know, something cheesy, but appropriate. And definitely don't we know racial slurs on birds. The black birds are just as important as the red birds. You notice there's not very many white birds. We can't call the seagull because they're trash. They're like the white trash of birds.
Yeah, there's sky rats.
Yeah, sky rats. And yet they're our state bird. We gotta love them. Don't kill them. That's a big fine if you kill a seagull. Don't do that.
Really?
Oh yeah. Yeah, you don't kill a state bird. That's a bad deal. Okay, so while I'm in this sketch mode, I'm just editing the sketch. You can do a couple things. You can bring in a center line, and I recommend you use center lines because a solid line wants to be a 3D element. It'll throw off what you're doing. You can just, let me square this up again because I keep turning it. You can draw a line at an angle, or a horizontal or vertical line, that works. Then when you do your text, this area right here lets you pick the curve or the line. If I select that element, then when I put in the initials, they'll follow an alignment with it, which is kind of fun. It lets you put things at a specific source. Now I've got that and those initials in there. You have your justification options as well, so I can center it, I can right justify it, or I can block style it. Okay, so you want to make sure it does what you want it to do. Now, yes. Question? Okay. All I need to do is get your initials on the surface, and so I'm trying to give you options to do that quicker. Yes, the simple is good. The simple is this what I'm doing now. So again, you can use the line, and that works good. I can also use, and I'm just gonna come over here side. I can also use a circle. Now that circle's solid line, right? Again, I don't want solid lines. If there's solid lines, I still want to make a cylinder out of it. That's gonna make my lettering weird. If I select the circle, we can turn it for construction on the left panel. Now it's a center line. So now when I go and do my text, I can put in my sentence. When I select my alignment tool, in this case, I can have it go on the inside of the circle. Now I get a different bar down at the bottom. I can flip that out, change the orientation of it, center it. So I can start doing some things. You have a lot of options with this. And that kind of gives you some options of what you want your font to look like. One thing I don't have, and let me get back here, is these two areas down here are still grayed out. The first one is the width of the individual letter. The second one is the spacing between the letters. If you turn the check mark off, they will activate. I don't know why they're not active to begin with, because that tends to be what I want to do. If I just want to split more space between those letters, I can then do something like that, which is what you'll see on the bottom of like coffee mugs. You'll see lettering in circles a lot. You'll see on the bottom of bolts, on the heads of nuts, where we put in emblazoned lettering to mark this name of it. And in mechanical engineering, that's important. We have to label a lot of things because there's a lot of things out there. We don't get confused. So I can do this type of thing. Again, you can go inside and outside your arc and flip that around so it's readable. You just have to be willing to take a few minutes and make that choice. Okay, it works on curved arcs as well. So lines and circles, arcs, rectangles, whatever you want to use. How would I go about getting a bigger font? Because right now I have no idea what size this is. So let's say I take everything back to 100. And I want a bigger font. What can I do? Has everybody played with this font tool yet? Cool. Well, down here is a word that says font. Woohoo! So we click on that word font. It brings up a very tiny little window. This is this is one of the features of SOLIDWORKS I'm not really happy with, because you can't expand that sucker out. It's just fixed. It's a fixed size. Now, if you're going to change the font, you don't have to highlight it. It's whatever's in this box is going to be affected. And you can go through and find different fonts in there. There's a couple I'm going to show you to be aware of, like that one right there is one they do. Now, you can also do things like regular, what is obliquing? What's an oblique font? It's italics, yeah. So in your word processor, like Microsoft Word or Excel, that's italics. You're just gonna tilt it. So think of acute and oblique angles, bold and blown obliques. So that's really what that is. Now over here is your units. Units is by inches. It's your drawing units. So my font currently is 1/8 of an inch. So I can take it up to 1/2 inch. You know, pretty easy to do. Or you can go by points. I don't know any engineer in the world that goes by points. Points are used by graphic artists because they understand what pixels are and pica points. And I don't even want to get into, I don't know. I want a size. Give me a size I can work with. So we can also do strikeouts and underlines, but that's again for editing text as a way of marking up and giving information. What I want to do is look at this font here specifically. So I'm just saying, okay, wow, that's very fancy. Cool. This is what, and fancy font is good, but I want you to look right here on the word big. Okay, so here's the word big, and this font, as fancy as it is, can never be a 3D element. Okay, so one of the areas is right here on the B, is there's a loop here that crosses, but more importantly, over here, see how that comes in the overlap in these two places? Because of that, the endpoints are inverted, and it cannot make this into a 3D element. Basically, this line is positive, but then it turns negative. This line is positive and then turns negative. And so we cannot make these into 3D elements. There are a few things you can try. You can start by increasing the width of the letter. Let's find that B again. And that will sometimes help, depending on how the font was made. And we got rid of one. Yay, that one's gone. So we can keep going and soon get rid of more. But I'm going to run out of room here pretty quick. In fact, I've already run out of room. I've lost the word the now. So you're kind of limited on what you can do with the real fancy script font. You can't have any of these loops in there. The other thing we can't have, let me do this, is letters overlap. Okay, so if your letters overlap, then it won't 3D either on you. Okay, so you might have to just sometimes the fancy stuff, you might have to do it letter by letter. And if we were to make a cryptodex, we'd have to do it that way. You may know what a cryptotext is. What cryptodex is? It was used in National Treasure. It's the tube that has a coded dials on it. Cryptodex. There, you can make those in 3D. They're pretty fun, but you'd have to do each letter individually. So it's a little bit of work. If I change this to a simpler font, and this is one I use quite a bit as the Cooper font. It's a nice big bold fat font. I still have my letters overlapping, but I can start now bringing my font size down and increasing the space between the letters. This one would work, and I could use that. So obviously, there's a lot of ways to go. So just kind of a little overview with fonts. We'll review this again, but this is made the kit shim up real quick in 5 minutes rather than 3 hours. Now, for the rest of us, I'm just going to kill this and get rid of this. We have on our part, and you're in the sketch mode, we have our, we're seeing the sketch of our initials, right? Is everybody at this point? Okay, we're going to fake it out. We're going to do a 2D array, circular array, to get our fonts in the right place. To do that, we're going to do a little bit of what I've already done. We're going to go do a circle on the origin point, and you can make it whatever size makes you the happiest today. For Jeff, it's going to be like this. For Mark, it's going to be like this. Good. You just be that way. Enjoy Hercules. Yes, sir.
How far do you want to push in the letters for
the depth? I think we went 1/8 of an inch deep is all. 0.1. 0.1. Yeah, because your base isn't that thick. So I put a little circle in there, and then again, we don't want that circle to become a 3D element, so we need to change it to for construction. Okay, so make it so it's a for construction circle. Now, when you're trying to do arrays, if you're especially like gears, if you're doing a layout of gears, and maybe you're doing the fly assembly for your main drive belt on an engine, you'll have a pulley down below, a pulley above. There might be a gear assembly to it that goes to the alternator. You're putting 4 different circular points on one plane. You might be the ability to make a circle in various places to do different arrays or patterns is really essential. So now I've got a circle here. Let's go ahead and in the sketch tab, let's take the linear sketch pattern and change that to a circular sketch pattern. Okay. Now it's wanting to know our center point. you cannot pick this origin and make it work. Okay, one, the origin has a positive, negative on all six axes. So it counteracts its own numbers. So you pick the circle and it will identify the center of the circle. So we're faking out the math. You understand what I'm saying? So you got an X and Y or a Y axis, you got positive and negative. If I pick that point, they're negative. If I do X, Y, they cut out. So I've got to pick of something that's mathematically driven differently. And that's what the circle does. I still want 4 of them. That's good. But down here under entities of pattern, it's copying this circle. Well, what's it going to do? Yes.
I did the extra cut on my age, and then my age was like disappeared. And I gone back and I tried redoing it,
Okay.
and my age is still wrong. And I went undid it, and then did it again, and the age is still disappearing, and I'm very confused.
Let's see, this cut goes to there. Okay, this is so we're going to do sketch. You edit and you cut. And what you have to do is in your feature selection here, select that.
Oh,
That's what it's going to do.
oh,
Yep.
thank you.
Yep. Okay, good times. Woo! Yes. No, there's no problem. It's just a quirk. Not to be confused with quark, because quarks are important, but quirks are just. Yeah. Okay. You're supposed to be not here. In this cut, in this sketch here. We do a circle. Where's your right here? We've got construction. No. So that's there, we're right here. So those are initials. So we got to do that in there, right? So now I got to get them all out. Sketch again. Circle, origin. For construction. Yes. Okay, guys, I'm going to go over this all again because I'm not doing this 32 times because everybody's on the same problem. Okay, let's decide what? Okay, are these 2 different sketches? Okay. Where are, so they're both there, right? Okay, so we're going to circle the origin. Maybe back for construction. Okay, hang on. No, let me just do this all over. You guys missed a step with me. Okay. And it looks like everybody missed a sketch. Yay. Okay. I'm going to kick out of this completely here. You guys tuned out. Okay, so I'm going to exit the sketch. This is the cut. It's on one part, right? So that would be the extrude cut, whatever number that is. Expand that out and edit the sketch. That's our first step, is editing the sketch we have. Okay. And there's our depth. So we're looking at the sketch. I'm going to flip this back to the top view. So I keep in my 2-dimensional thinking. Now I'm on a sketch. That's 2D. Don't get confused with 3D. Okay. Is everybody at this point? Okay. Now we're going to draw a circle. We're adding to the sketch. Add the origin, just a circle. Doesn't matter the size. And we make that for construction. Okay, then we can check that circle off. At this point, we then now move. Everybody good on that? Who's still lost? Cool. If you don't have a hand up, then and guys, remember if you're sinking, we want your hand above your head. Otherwise, the shark's already eaten it, and we can't see if you need help or not. You should watch Shark Week. Huh. All right. So now I'm going to go into the linear sketch pattern in the sketch form. Change that to circular pattern. And if your circle's still selected, it will automatically select it. If not, pick the edge of the circle and put a big arrow pointing right to the center, and we'll say in the entities, the pattern, it'll give the designation of that arc. Now notice it calls circles arcs, okay? So don't let that throw you off too much. Okay, now I want to, in this pattern here, yes.
My SolidWorks just says has encountered a problem, needs to close.
He had to let it close and reboot. Yeah, you have to let it close and then reboot it when it does that. Okay, so we'll give you a minute here. Okay, so we picked the circle. It's identifying. Is that booting up again? Oh, crashing ports, gonna love it. Yeah, that's a big crashing port. That was a big crash. Okay, go ahead and reboot. You should be getting that pretty quick. Yes.
Just out of curiosity, why do you think you consider the best engineering schools have looked on like multiple platforms and they say BYU has the best program?
Well, it depends on what you want to do with it.
Okay.
Okay, so again, if you're doing micro engineering or bioengineering, then definitely BYU. That's their strength. You still can do the structural, civil, and everything else there, but their research focus is bio, whereas Utah State is aero and civil. So it's just their research. That's why you got to look at their research projects, and if it's interesting, then that's where you go. But yeah, it just depends on what you want to do. If you're looking at people doing nanobots and stuff, yeah, BYU, that's where they're doing it.
No, I want like at least like mechanical engineering, but I like physics and stuff like that.
So structural, all schools have structural. It's kind of the core of the math. And so it just kind of depends on what projects you want to get involved with. And in the case of BYU, maybe how many blue blood ties you have.
Yeah, also like University.
But you would have to cut your hair to go BYU.
Yes, University of Utah is the closest though.
The most expensive.
Yeah, but and now they want to see with scholarships.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, and housing's the most expensive there as well.
But I can live at home for that one.
Oh, social life killer.
It's a social life killer.
Yes. Okay, so we is that booting back again for you, sir?
Yeah, it's better.
Okay, so we've selected this center point in the entities, the pattern, which is typically a salmon colored box. It says, hey, we're gonna do a circle. If I do an array of that circle, it's gonna put 4 circles on top of each other. Well, I'm not gonna see that. It's just gonna be a pain in the neck to figure out why my memory is so big. So in the pattern, right click, you can either do clear selection or delete. Either one will work because there's only one thing there. But notice it still kept 0.1, which was the center of that circle. It still remembered that data. That's all I needed to do is just remember where you were. It's kind of a life lesson. Remember where you came from. Now at this point, I'm going to pick my entities to pattern. It says entities. These are all individual lines. You cannot window them. Okay, that's the downside to this method. But it also makes you verify what you're doing. Now I know some of you have one letter here and one letter there because you create a pattern. Cool. All you got to do now is go in and methodologically, or whatever word that is, pick each line one at a time. They'll turn light blue. Take the time to do it. Work in a systematic process to get it. Now, if you do the font option with the text, that's one entity. It's already built as one. If you're tracing, it's individual lines.
On mine, I was able to just click in the middle of the letter and it selected all of it.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if I did something weird or what.
Oh, you guys are special. You got the newer version. Mine hasn't updated yet. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the new update that came through in January. Yeah, I'm not able to update because I'm a teacher station, so I have like 33,000 firewalls. Did yours? Some of you may have got the update, some didn't.
Also, I figured out how, I maybe think I know why my letters are spanning two blocks. I
Uh-huh.
see why they were able to like span.
It could because they're in two different areas.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of the math in there. But the thing is to look through and not let it be controlling. Now, once you get them all selected, check your preview. If you don't have a preview, you've missed the line. Okay. When you get all the lines, it will preview. I promise you it will. Okay. Okay. And I'm the whole minute will solve problems. You know when kids do that, I just want to touch it like that. Especially with this light. All right. So are we in the edit here? Okay, this is actually right. You're right. This is good. Stay right here. You're good. You're good. Congratulations. I'm gonna shake your hand in those buildings. I haven't knocked it in. I was free. I can just suck on anything I want now. Except one last. Okay, so we need to cancel this. Okay, this one's a new sketch. You want to go into the sketch. Go into the circle. Here's where it's in the middle. It's you. I like that update. That's cool. Okay, that's where you didn't say that. You made a sketch. That's okay. You still look good. Doesn't matter. That one's good. You know, it's good. It's your guy. And this is really sexist and slightly racial, but I don't know anymore which is which because the world's all screwed up. Guys got hey, we get that looking older. Kind of nice.
Yes.
It's kind of a good deal.
Yes.
You know, Sean Connery, Patrick Stewart. Okay, so here. Now you can screw that up by doing drugs, alcohol, and smoking, but so now we just work on the. Oops. Here. Oh, you did the fonts. Yeah. I'll try to get you out because I want you to get this all. Oh, okay. I'm not come back up here. We got a lot more. Awesome. Awesome. Sorry, just got a little issue here. It chose a different group. So, whatever. Now, oh, they're all the same stuff. Actually, guys, what the routes? Okay, let me come back to you. Be a little bit more rough. But what's hurt? No, it's not you. No, is that we got you tied to the artist. So I go here. This arm here. I have a circle down here. So let me come back to you. Okay. Well, dude, the whole week. Why didn't you log on? The way I have the Zoom runs everything. You can take the class in Timbuktu. Okay, that's all. Okay, so you have to okay, in the accounts course, it's called new definition. That's all. Okay. Okay, you got one. What's that? Oh, so the first. Okay, now. Wow. Yeah. Now edit that. This. You guys. That's supposed to be easy letters. Okay, this is S, this is the C. C's got problems. Yeah. All right, now. All right, now we go to the. And now go ahead and do it pattern. Now put this pattern of you got a student why. Now go to the center zone. And now click the center zone as well. Oh, yeah, zoom in. All right, and click this. Actually, no, click that. This way. Click all. Click those balls. Now, no, my God. You got some issues? Make this. You guys, I'm going to same sketch with your letters and you create the circle. Don't make a new sketch. You're editing the sketch. Circle into a sketch. So we're still in
see, like this circle. That's there. And there, right, you can take the mouse and click it. Oh, no. You need to click the circle. You click the thing. Hold on. I don't know. So now we got circle off. I think what we can do is now we do features. Picture cut. Put the letters. The letters type of thing. Take that. Yeah, just to take one of them, plan for this. Or now. No. Or color. Over like this. Now, click OK. I'm gonna close the door. Or we're gonna be out. Whatever you want to do, man. Hold on, 6 6. Oh, going down to the line. Oh. I got lost. All right, now we come back. I don't know. This. Now you. This that's me. All right, let's go on this. No. I'm not sure about the geometric. I would just be staring at it on It's a long sketch. Got the same sketch as the letters. So we're gonna get through this. And we come back to this sketch. Here, this is what my problem is. And we got. Well, what's in is You see yellow on your parts, means there's something not quite right.
Probably did stop. That like not work perfectly. Okay, now all right, now we're in the so now that's the circle.
Sorry, this is taking a little longer.
Oh, now it's good. So, really good. Now, look at that. Yeah. One more time. That's it. Okay, no more circle.
No more circle.
Right, now we
You guys know what's going on, clean up your neighbors, because I'm gonna not be able to get through everybody.
now we're gonna try. I think that's good. Now we're gonna try to do the top. Oh, yeah, that. Now we're going to click on it. And now click it. Click it. Now click it to the top. Now it's where it comes to the top.
You can let it a little bit different. Because we're trying to get to the wall. This is how I look at it. Yes. Pattern.
Oh my God.
when you hit your OK pattern, the two of you that are doing fonts, that is completely different. Okay, everybody good? Everybody got their previews checked off?
We'll see what you done. We'll see.
Okay, so we've got our previews. That means everything's good. Wow. So I hit the green check mark and they're there. Okay. That doesn't mean they're gonna cut because the only one is preview, right? Alex, you with me?
Yep.
The other Alex?
Alex Payne,
Doesn't matter. Let's let it go. I can't make a horse drink water unless they shove salt down its throat. That hurts. Okay, now when I hit exit sketch, it's not going to be the result I want. Okay, because only one selected. So I'm going to exit the sketch. There's only one. See, it's still the same. So I've got the sketch edited. Now I need to edit the feature. So I right click on the cut extrude, edit that feature, and see I've only got one listed here. So pick in the box and then select the other features. And it probably does a little yellow gold thing, but you just have to pick inside. So they start listing each of those. Then check that off. Woohoo, success. Now, okay, so we got get some on there. Okay, you still one hand. Then I got two to fix. I got to fix two next. Okay. How is it going? But it has to be done. Okay, close that. Edit this. Okay, so got this one here. And we want the same thing around these. Well, now we're going to unsplash our flag. Now we're going to select. So whatever. Okay. Now do that for every single one. Yes, sir. What's up? This has to be. Oh, not the grass. Okay, you're just gonna have that. Okay, just yeah. What's up, man?
When I edit the feature, I can only get these or
The others that we click on, they're not working. Okay, on the left side, click in the box that says select elements. Down, down, down. Click there. Now the others. Those are show.
Maynard. I don't know if this guy's going to oh, I don't know if this guy's going to so we're gonna see it, cut it, and then edit the sketch. So you file save as, we're gonna unmute that. So this one will be uncut, you're not supposed to expert. So we're gonna do file save as, we'll put it back up. It was utterly destroyed. So like in the top, like no, like this top one or something. Everything, this will be the one more. Actually, sorry, it takes a lot to fix some of these little minor areas. So this is all went down. Compliment stuff. We're gonna go with this guy, right? Then we're gonna delete it. We're gonna although one is don't want to do it. Need it, like, one is delete. Yeah. Yes.
Oh.
If it doesn't, that's just like a lot. Yeah. Right. Our police will be the one. Actually, this is our instead of this is gonna have to click on the house. See how the place look at it. Now.
Now I think so that.
Oh yeah, or bond it. Keep on doing. Five, like you said, really high. Yes, we got it. Okay, so now we're gonna exit steps. Now we're gonna do a two boxes. No, extra five. On that we're going. Click this one. Now. Click five. And click the two. Stop for the check. Alright, unselect our front, now select the three things. Alright, now select check. Okay, that was why I did that. So basically,
Hi. I'm a frustration.
alright, so open top one, close, no, open top. Then close top one and then.
Okay, how many else is supposed to start here?
I don't know how to fix it.
Okay. Okay, so I should see us on games. Yep, yep, okay.
Right on.
Be real brutal. Keep using. You do. It's very, very cold. Of you. No, go down to. Wait.
Oh.
Oh, no, wait. Okay, so we're gonna have to. So you're in top, go to top one. Actually, you're in top. So, like this. Which is,
Right.
here, just on the top, the zero. So what we're just gonna do is, wait, this is what's going on. Like, now, hold over, now what? Alright, now we're in top spot. Okay, I know what's going on. So I thought desktop and I go to files or release top wherever that is. So that we don't have two. So. No problem. Okay, now we'll go back to home. Just like that. Now, we're gonna edit the sketch. Well, I already passed you. What's wrong? Now, back to this pattern. Okay, fine. Now, what? Center of the circle. Oh, you're not looking at me.
Oh.
Actually, that's not the way. Yeah. You gotta actually look. All right, we just look at the okay, now, go to underneath the pattern, close the center of them. Now, oh, you look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Want you now, chat. Now, I think that. And now, I don't know. Simple stuff, right? Shouldn't be so hard to do this. I don't know what went wrong here. What's up, viewers?
Anybody? You? You still have. Still have the same page. So we have one that works, the rest stop, right? You trust me? Okay, go try. Spin it around that. So it's spin around a lot. Okay, this is a good one. Cover. So the other piece of that. You know what?
Right?
Yeah.
21, 1.
Yep. All right, next up. What's going for this stuff? Okay, so you got the sketch of that, right? It's the sketch. Now the head of the cut. So currently cut only has one selected. So you now go in and select.
Okay, anybody else? That was hellacious. That should have been, it was like a 5-minute lesson. It's taking us 4 hours. Oh, that's great. What's up? Yeah, we got, you try to do 2 things at once. You can't do both at the same time. Yeah, it's going, I'm cutting, but you're telling me not to cut. All right, let's, what is this sketch? Well, it's probably inside. Oh, what were you thinking? Were you sketching the sketches?
I don't know.
Looks like it.
Well, it was there, well, 5 minutes ago, we were actually to try and get it to work.
Okay, what is the sketch here?
Oh, well, we got it.
All right, let's look at the first problem here. This guy cannot be solid. This guy goes, it's trying to cut something from nothing. That's like taking 1 from 0. No good. Now, so what we're going to do next is now we're going to do our features and extrude cut, because that has not happened yet. Use the thick letters. Okay, so that's part of it. That's part of it there. Hey, we can't have any Grammarly going on. No Grammarly. Go and open up your snowman. Actually, don't close this one though. We gotta come back to it. No, here you go.
Sometimes.
Sorry, I just have a problem fixing that. Yeah, you are. I think it's that letter. It's got, you change that letter at all? So, here's what's happening with that letter. I think that's what's happening. See, I have 3 endpoints coming together here. That's so we can do that. Because what's happening is it doesn't know to do with all the endpoints except five. It can account for 2. 2 is fine, but 3 of things is I don't know. Here, this. So that's hey, no monkeys in the bedroom, man.
Thank you.
All right. Does everybody have letters now? Really, out of concern? I'm gonna just one of these days, man. All right. Your snowman. What happened to your snowman, dude? Hold on. In there. Oh, where's that line going? You gotta fix your line. It's a sketch issue. You can't have it close. So we went corner here. We went here. Here. Okay, everyone's got letters? Okay, so save your work, and you're going to submit to me your top piece. Let me show you. Wow, that was oh man, that was a long time. I got a headache. You'll get it. You'll get to where you can solve these yourself, and that'll be good. Okay, in both courses, both 3 and 4, there's a file that says do nothing machine, February 26, 50 points. You're going to upload the top part only. Okay, just upload the top part there, then I'll get them set up. We'll get them printed. It'll probably be 2 weeks before you see it, but you get graded right away. Okay, so it's in the do nothing machine. It's kind of, it should be on your calendar as well, but just upload it to that part, just the top piece.
The SolidWorks file?
Yeah, the whole file. Because I'm not ready to teach them the other because we're still having problems with letters. Now, you advanced kids, you do the STLs. Okay, because you know how to do it. So the rest, you just upload the top part file. Hello, Moto.
Your text. How did you fix it?
Oh,
You did the long lengthy path, right?
yes.
I don't know that.
Okay, hang on. We're gonna come back to the link. I'll be right over there. Go get it set up. Okay. Yes, it's that one. Is there anything else? Just using some junction with it. Yes, sir. That's it right there. You did it. 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 Hey, I'm sorry. What? You want to come back? You want to stop my head? Okay. You want a rib tickle?
What is the other letter?
What do you think?
What is the other one?
That's
If it is not A, what is it? B?
You almost killed me. What are you doing?
And this will be B, right? This will be B.
What are you doing? You almost killed him. Wow, you almost killed me. Tickles.
Well, that's weird. Okay, Mark. So here's Mark. He's playing a game and watching a movie in the middle of a class. Okay. All right. Let's go to something a little calmer, like a snowman. Yay. Now, the snowman is, you're going to get points for the snowman, but we're not turning this one in because I'm not 3D printing this. One, they're all different sizes, because this is a demo piece, and we're just now going to do a couple of things to it in order to make things work better. And my phone just winked out. All right, well, let's, wow, we've got an hour left to do all this. Not even an hour. What do you want clear over there? What? Why not? We did it like a week ago. Okay. One of you come here. Actually, it's a broke red button. Okay, you're gonna bring this back when you guys are done. Oh yeah, I know. It's all great. And drive. And yes, again, you'll just have my snowman here, is what you'll have. The door.
This key.
And the nice thing is, it's just called snowman. Okay. So just copy this off. You know how to do that. Cool. All right. Ooh, yeah.
I was having trouble doing the revolve.
The revolve.
The revolve, yeah.
Let's need a snowman too. He's got on the disc there. So get it from him.
I also needed to.
They will do something different. Okay. All right. So little lesson here. It's in your sketch. You can't have that many open lines. You can't finish the tram. Corner tram.
here, 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 here. Voila. Okay. Yep. No snowman at all? Okay. Okay, we'll get some problems. I need that jump drive user. Yes, sir. What's that?
I don't miss the children.
Yes. Well, yeah. Okay. That's different. So make them a little bit wider, and then put the hole in it on the dowels correct. Okay.
Color drawing.
The dowels? No, the 3 print we did. So just make one, fix one, and we'll just keep it. Does that make sense? Okay, now. Chill, where's that USB right? We got one more over here that needs to smell. Oh, you need it too? Of course, you have been here. You think you're special, do you? You stop going to school whenever you want. Who's your counselor? I will find her and punch her and send her a nasty email. All right, I'll send her a barn because that's nasty. You know, barns have stalls, stalls have animals, animals leave deposits. It's like a poo-poo emoji, but it's an old school one. Okay, I was gonna give you a choice, but I'm not going to now. We're gonna work on creating a face on this thing. And I'm probably gonna regret this, but whatever, you know, it's how we learn. And we went the only way you can learn. There's only one way you can learn. Anybody know what that is? Trying is part of it. Failing. If you don't fail, you didn't learn anything. All right, so I want you to think about that. If you don't fail at it and then succeed afterwards, you haven't really learned anything. And so this idea that everybody gets a ribbon is kakamoni, because that means you didn't really try. All right. So let's see the minimum we need for this wonderful thing's face. What are we putting on the face? Eyes. Okay, I'll do with eyes. A nose. What kind of nose? A cucumber nose. Oh no, we can't do that with boys. Cucumbers become wrong things. But a carrot we can do. Thank you, Andrew, for laughing at that. There's certain vegetables we stay away. Eggplant's another one. We just don't do them. How much of a mouth do you want on here? Do you want a single open mouth? I can't even show you because I'm in a mask. The O-shaped mouth, or do you want a smiley mouth?
Smiley.
Of course you do. With coal? Okay. All right. This is getting into the more advanced stuff. And you need to have this in order to do your birdhouse. The rest of you guys in the other class, you need to have this in order to get your crate toys ready to start cutting. And you guys will probably, all the material that has been requested has been ordered. It is here in the room. If you didn't give me your order, slap you. We'll have to figure out improvised ways. Okay. And keep in mind, on those crank toys, there will be trial and error. So we'll do pieces and see what works, then move from there. It's gonna take you guys on yours about 3 weeks just to get things built. Okay, now, if the rest of your snowmen would please do this. Make sure that your front plane is shown. If it's not, I mean, it looks like this, meaning there's no blue there, no plane here. If this is where you're at, put your cursor over on front plane, right click and hit the eyeball. Then we should make it look like Mitt Romney, huh? He's got a big black eye. He fell down the stairs and went boom, boom, boom. You good? Okay. Once you have this plane shown, then we're make sure you're on the front plane. Okay, because we'll put the face on the front of this bugger. Okay, not the back. Some of you will put it on the back. That's okay. Up in your view orientation, will you please change your view orientation to the right side once you have the front plane turned on? Okay, you should see the front plane now as a single line going through the middle of your snowman, right? If you're lost, you weren't paying attention, you should take your hand and just slap, slap, and then we'll be moving on. That was a little harder than I wanted to do. Need to remember to not hit myself so hard. Okay.
If you hit yourself and it hurts, are you stronger?
That's a good philosophical question. I would say that makes you strong because I usually don't exercise my cheeks, at least not the ones on my face. Yes, all's well. Okay, everybody at this position, this is the tricky part. We need to copy that plane out in front of the face. Now, which side, left or right, will be the actual front of your snowman? The left is correct, if you go out the way it rotated. So we're going to copy this single line that goes right down the middle to the left. Okay, to do that, make sure nothing is turned on. Put your cursor on the plane, it'll show orange. Okay, over there. Now, take your left hand, use your nose pick and finger. Anybody pick your nose or pinky?
No.
Andrew does. I watched the other day. It was fun. Press the control key. Now with this hand, put it on the mouse and press the left mouse button and hold it. And slide to the left. That's like a country line dance. Slide to the left. Okay, now you need to move it out in front of the face. That's gonna be different for all of you, so I can't give you a value. It just needs to be somewhere in front of the face. Just somewhere in front of the face. Okay. Once you get it there, go hit your green check mark. We should have now 2 lines.
I can't get selected on the plane.
Okay, you got to make sure you're not in a sketch. So if you're in a sketch,
Yeah.
you can't do it. You have to make sure your sketch is exited. You got to see the plane when it's on edge. So it's the front plane, right side view. Then when you put your cursor on it, it should turn orange. What's
Mhm.
happening?
Yeah.
Okay, now hold your control key down and the left mouse button down at the same time. And then you can slide.
Nothing happened.
Okay, boy, it's tricky not seeing your screen. But it does turn orange. When you put your
What did you
cursor,
just say?
does the plane turn orange when you put the cursor over it?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, there's a lot of hands going up. Why?
I don't know.
Okay. Then when you hold the control key down and just wait for a second, does anything change on your screen?
No.
No. Okay. Will you go and look? Is there a sketch active by chance?
No.
No. Okay. All right. So we got cursor, control key, left mouse button. Do you get a purple arrow on it at all? A blue arrow? At all?
No.
All right. Hang tight. Here we go. I'm going to make you the host. Are you on a computer is the computer on Zoom?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to make you the host. And then you're going to share your screen. Then
Okay.
when you get done, make sure you make me the host when you're done. All right, yours isn't working, yours isn't working, yours isn't working, yours isn't working. You can all. Okay, go ahead and share when you're ready. And so at the bottom of your Zoom window, it should have a green button that says share. Did you get it? There we go. Okay, so we can see Macy's here. Looks like it's good. You got, so yeah. Now control key. Nope, don't move the cursor. Cursor's got to stick with control key, left mouse button. There it goes. That was easy. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Right there. That's good. Okay, green check mark. Make me the host again. Let me go bail everybody else out. That worked? That help? See, it's magic. If I watch it, it works.
So, like, the outside is frozen, but the inside is frozen.
Escape. Yeah, okay. No. Okay, you're gonna crash, so go ahead and kill SolidWorks and reboot it. Okay, you got yours? Yes, yes. Did you get a copy of your plane? No. So we have to go to the right side view. Put your cursor on the line, control key, left mouse button slide. Who else? You good? Who else need help right now? I'll go back and sit down. You put your hand here. I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna be like the whole more army. Now we're doing Lion King. We watched the whole movie. We took a whole movie on. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go back and share screen again here.
Thank you. I don't know what changed,
I was
but
watching you. That's what changed. That's what happens.
yeah.
Okay, now I've got to do it again because I undone mine. So again, when you're copying a plane, and this is goes to most things, the control key is your copy key. So when you hold that down and the left mouse button, you're cloning that face. Okay, now we have a face in front, and what would gonna happen is you guys are gonna get confused that you've got a front plane and plane number 2, in my case, here's plane number 1, that are showing at the same time. My suggestion to keep you on the same page with me is to go to the front plane, right click and hide that front plane. Not plane number 1, but the front plane. Okay, that'll keep it simple for you. Now, one of the things about any type of 3D modeling that we're getting into and why we're doing this is you cannot draw on a round surface. You just can't. So what we're going to do is create the points that we can use to build the eyes, the mouth, and the nose. So we then draw a face. Is that working?
No, no.
Did it reopen?
I closed it and opened it again.
And what?
Got the same issue. I mean, it's still like I can see it, but I still can't like change it or like.
What are you doing? What is this?
I don't.
Well, you're playing around with settings,
No,
man.
I don't.
I think you do. I think you just play, and that's all you do.
What I do is I read my book.
Well, that's not paying much attention, is it?
No, I read my book when, like when you go around and identify yourself. I read my book.
You want horse crap? Pig crap, cow crap.
I think
I recommend horse crap.
Smells
because
it's the easiest one to deal with.
that's basically just
Yeah, it's pretty full fiber. Cows digest very much. I mean, 4 stomachs. And why did dinosaurs have 4 stomachs? They were eating whole trees. Yeah. Okay, you've got a RAM issue somewhere. Is this not even open at the stomach? So do a reboot real quick. Just restart home machine. All right, I am sorry. This is not usually how I go. We usually go boom, boom, boom. Okay, so will you now please go to your front view? And you should have play number 1 on yours. Okay, now what we're going to do is with a okay. Okay. Sorry, I just found out what happened to Logan. Logan was in a horrific car crash. So I just gotta. Find out what we can do for him. Oh my gosh, I don't have time for all this.
So, yeah, this is one of our books. And that's it.
All right. What I want you to do is you're doing a sketch on this new plane. So do sketch, activate the sketch, select the plane, zoom up on the face. Nice, got bumped out. And you're going to create circles for where you want the eyes. So just make a snowman, circle where you want the nose, and then a bunch of little circles that make up his mouth. Okay, because you want to do a mouth that smiles. So let's make a smile that smiles. Okay, just create those circles. Now, we probably want to do a few things about making them a little bit more uniform. So if we take and put a smart dimension on, say, one of the mouth, and I just make that 0.25, so it's a quarter inch, you choose the size. Make it look good. Put some design to it. We've only got 10 minutes to get this thing fixed. Okay, once I get that one size, how do I get all of these others the same size? Constraints, yes. So I'm going to select the one circle that I've dimensioned. Then I hold the control key down and select all the others that make up the mouth. So I'm going to do all the mouth. And once I'm all selected, I'm going to make them all equal. So now they're all the same size. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing with the eyes. Dimension one of them. Whichever one you want, make it the size you want it to be. Then make the other one equal to it. So control key and select them both. Turn off the dimensions. Turn off my dimensions. Select one circle, control key, select the other. Make them equal. You can make them collinear too if you wanted, but that doesn't matter so much. If you want to really make them the same so they line up, so the guy's symmetrical, it could be a model. Put a center line between them and make it horizontal. Okay. All right, you got that? The nose, you can do what you want with the nose. It's a single thing. You can kind of move it around. If you grab the center point, you can put it where you want.
Really? We've done it twice. Select one, control key, select all the others, and then choose equal from the constraints. Okay, what we're going to do next is we're going to move into setting it up on the face. Okay, so if I turn my face, this face is not on his body. It's kind of like weird. So we're going to do this in a couple of steps. What we're about to do is what's called an offset cut, which is sometimes a little tricky to do. That's why I keep it kind of simple. But we're going to make indentions into the snowman's face so you can come back through and make coal and put on there. It's a lot of work to get a flat surface. But if you're working on things that are round, and there's a lot of things in the mechanical world that we work on that are spherical, bearings being the simplest of those. But when it comes to things like if you're designing beaker flasks or compression tanks, valves, there's a lot of cylindrical things and spherical things we do that we have to have a flat surface on in order to do the rest of the connections. So we're going to do this in pieces, which means repetition. We're going to start with the mouth, and then we're going to work through systematically. So I'm still in my edit sketch mode. I'm now going to move to features, and we're then doing extrude cut. Okay, so we're going to cut into the snowman's face. Kind of horrifying. Yeah, I should have opened the office where he cuts off the mannequin's faces. So hit extrude cut. Now, it's going to select everything because that's the automatic select option in SolidWorks. On your side profile here, we're going to do a lot of setting changes. So stay with me, okay? The very bottom one should say select contours. Open that up. And in there, you're only selecting the circles that deal with the mouth. Just the mouth. And so as you pick in there, they'll do the magenta and then the preview. Go and get, so you get all of them in there. They should all be regions, no contours. All these should say region. It says the contour, that means you selected the edge, and it needs to be just the regions. Okay. Everybody good with that? Speak now. We got just minutes. You good? A. Not good? You got contour selected? You too? The favorite? Oh, you got overlapping. That's a bit complicated, but that's okay. Turn. See where you're at. You can extrude cut contours. You have to pick each contour line. Well, here we go. Take contour, get out. Yeah, get out. Get out. All right, what's up? You got out your sketch. Sketch. Features. Extrude cut. Contours. Just the circle. Okay. Anybody else? How do you guys not stay up with it? I don't understand. Features, extrude cut, contours. This one. Anybody else? Yeah, here's where it gets crazy. You pick them off. Contours. And pick just the ones that make them out. Your turn. Now, all I'm trying to do is create a flat surface on the head so I can create a rock. A lot of craziness this is. Thank goodness it's spring, we can get rid of snowman. Okay.
So we have them all selected. We have a preview shown. We then change the blind to go up to surface. We'll start with that. So change the word blind to up to surface. And you got to turn your plane so you're inside, we can hit the sphere of the head. Now he's gonna look like he's got like pipes coming out of his face. Okay, so start with that. Okay, we're not done. Don't hit any green check marks. Up to surface will match the contour, whatever it is. And so it's now tapered. If you look at it from different angles, you'll see how the circle becomes an ellipse as it comes in contact with that sphere. Okay, we need to go inside of there a little bit. Now, that means we need to change that setting. So we then change it from up to surface to offset from surface. Now the surface is already selected. And we look at our offset as being 0.1 as the default. And if you look, you'll see there's a gap now between the head and the face pieces. You see a little gap there? So what we want to do is reverse that offset so it goes in. So we put a check mark in, reverse, offset. Now it cuts into the head 0.1. 0.1 is plenty. Okay, that'll work for what we're doing. Okay, yeah.
Going all the way through.
Whoa.
So my. What is the name?
Let's, actually, how wide it is. Oh, look at the size there. Let's change that. And then this. Okay, go ahead and hit your green check mark. And we should have, if we look at our face now, holes. They are. They should be. You tried? Let's try and draw one and see if it is. That's a good question. You don't think they are, huh? You gotta get past the plane, and they are not. They're round. What can we do to fix that? What can we do to fix that? Okay, so if we can't draw there, what was the point of that? Seeing how to do it. Okay, what can I do now? I've got these holes. It looks like a bowling ball now. Woohoo. How do I get them flat so I can use them? We could edit this cut. Okay, so go edit cut. That takes us right back to where we were, so we can see it. So if offset from the surface, they keep all the contouring correct. That's great. I'm happy about that. What if we switched it to a blind cut, which is distance? And then here's the problem that I have with this, okay? So just bear with me for a minute, because if I set my distance so they all go in, that means some of them will be deeper than others, right? So if I'm trying to create this mouth and I'm just doing it as a solid part, is cutting going to be my best way of doing this? Because I'm going to do really deep, there's got to be another way of doing it, right? So what other options can you think of? Another way to use what we've got done so far and create a mouth out of this? Any ideas that you might think of? Get thinking real 3D, creative like. This lady keeps staring at me, it's wigging me out. Gotta get curtains.
Well, we did make the plane.
take the plate in the head and pull them out.
What if we did like something with the hole wizard? I don't know.
The hole wizard just makes holes, but yeah, you could drill holes in, but they would still, you could do a drill hole. If we'd have the same problem as getting the depths different for each one. So a lot of extra work, right? All right, let's go ahead and hit the X on your cut, because again, it's all about, this is all about editing your parts. Go to the extrude cut, right click on it and delete the cut. Take the cut completely out. Make sure there's no sketch inside the box. Okay, no sketch. So if we have it like this, sketch 4, I need sketch 4. That's my mouth. Just take the check mark off so it doesn't delete what's in the box. Okay, then hit yes. You're back to where we started 30 minutes ago. Yay. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to use these circles to create stones out of them. If you're making a snowman, what would you do? You make the head and you stick things in it, right? Well, why don't we do the same thing we model it? It's the same thing. What we model is we model the way we make. And so we're doing the same thing. We have to do a few other steps, but that's what we're going to do. So we're going to go now and do a feature and then do an extrude. Whoops, not a cut. And then do an extrude. And you're going to get a yellow box because we're out of our sketch. You're out of your sketch of mind. When you get the yellow box, it says, hey, I don't know what you're talking about extruding because you haven't got anything near as active. Okay, fine. Find where it says your file name, hit the little black arrow, and pick the last sketch you want to use. So you can pick them on the fly. Now, these will all be automatically selected. Okay, I know I don't want the nose involved in this. The eye, I can probably get away with. So we're going to do select contours again. Okay, this time we're going to do all of the mouth because it's practice and the eyeballs. Okay, and we got to see if we can do this, and we're not going to get this done. So eyeball, eyeball, mouth, 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 and something like crazy, there are about 60 more mouths. Then make sure you flip the direction and extrude this up to surface. So pick the surface, it's gonna look like this. Woo, doggy, woo, doggy. Okay, it's gonna look like that. Okay, the distance out from the eyes may be really big on some of you, some of them will be really close. So just extrude it up to the surface. When you check it off, you should have eyes and mouth, no nose. Oh, he's kind of weird looking. Something out of Doctor Who. Okay. All right, now we're gonna do a couple of things here. Did everybody get to this point? Why? It's just an extrude, man. Yes, you too, huh? Okay, those looks don't help you anymore. Okay, I may go and help the other guys. I don't know if I like them. Okay, so which way is the arrow pointing? There's no surface side. Change the arrow. I think the surface. Whoa! Up the surface. Got rid of this. Then go back in. Contours here, here, here. Up the surface. And the surface. Direction. Okay, yeah, let's get the eyes in there too. And we're not doing cutting more, now we're doing extrude. So
you've missed 6 steps. We're not doing a cut, go to extrude. Extrude. Okay. Okay, you're doing a cut. We're not doing a cut anymore, we're doing extrude. You guys are not listening as well as you should. Extrude, choose the sketch, choose your contours again, start choosing contours. We're doing eye, then all the mouth. Flip the direction. Change the size, up the surface to downward. We're there, check that off. Okay, that's right. All right, save your snowman. If you need help with such things, so extrudes. Not doing cut, do extrude. Thanks, Bob. Thanks. You guys have so much to do. We're gonna work on your strength today. Okay. Say that. No, good, good. You're good. So that's we'll finish this stuff. You're good? You're good. Does that make sense what we're then doing with those? Because we pre-print the hole, then we can just put the dowels in the hole, and then the glue in better. I'm glad you got to that solution.
Can you comment on the project I can work on?
How complicated do you want it?
As complicated as I can complete, probably, like
Okay.
with my.
I'll go through my steps.
Because literally all that I did today was extrude that.
That's it, huh?
Yes, because it magically worked the first time.
Cool.
That helped my neighbor.
Okay, you guys are online. You can go ahead and there's all left already. We'll pick this up and finish it next time, I guess. Let's get this-
Okay, thank you.
Yep, thanks. Yeah, I'll find this one project.